If you are a health coach and you dream of having a soul satisfying practice where you make an incredible, life altering difference in the lives of people, and if you've ever struggled with, hey, but I'm busy, I have 5 kids, or I want to help everybody with everything, or now that I have this niche, what do I do with these non-niche clients? If that's you, you are going to love our conversation today. I am here with someone who's mastered the process. Her name is Connie Seidenfeld, and welcome, Connie.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shaunna. First of all, thank you for inviting me. It's an honor and privilege to be here with you, and I'm super excited to spend this time with you and having a great time together.
You have had an incredible impact in the world. You are someone that members of our community really look up to. You just have had incredible stories of people who are not in your niche and who you've had amazing results for. And so we're going to get into that. And how is it that you get those amazing results that has people stay with you for years? And what is that all about? It's not that they aren't getting served and you're keeping in the problem. That's not what we're doing. It's because we've solved that and then some. So we're going to talk all about all of those things and how you were able to become a six-figure health coach yourself. So you are one of our six-figure health coaches that is on no social media. And that is like astounding to people. People can't believe that that's possible. And I always say, I've been doing this so long. I've been doing this before there was social media. So there are going to be definitely a lot of eye-opening aha moments, I know, in this interview that's just going to rock people's worlds. And you are a mom of 5. And so, for anyone's like, yeah, but she's going to dispel all of that. So take us back, honey, and tell us, what were you doing before you became a health coach? What was your life like? What was your career? Give us an input there. And then how did you bridge over and into this other world of health? Tell us that story.
Great question. Thanks for asking. So we had a firm, my husband and I, an architectural design firm, which was going great, really well, working together really well, partners, growing business. As we were having, we had the business, I had my 5 beautiful children, young mom, enthusiastic, active, lots of energy. I was a go-getter. Besides for being a mom at full time, I did a lot of other things as well. Very busy with the community. Non-for-profit is something that I love to do, help others. And my parents were, physically a little bit compromised. So I was always there with them, helping them, doing things for them. So life was good. Everything was great until
Yeah.
until I got really feeling awful. Lots of symptoms that I had no idea where it's coming from, why it's happening.
Yeah.
Going to doctors back and forth, and an answer for me. My blood work was perfect. My weight was great. Everything was great about me. And until finally one doctor told my husband, it's all in your wife's head. And that shook my core because I knew who I was, and I'm a faithful girl, and it's not that I'm just in my head making up stuff. Smart, intelligent girl, so it just didn't make sense to me. It was actually horrible. I remember
Yeah.
where I was and everything about when he said that, and I looked at my husband and I said, I will prove them wrong. There's something going on with me, and I'm going to figure it out on my own. If no one's there to help me, I will do whatever it takes
Yeah.
to do what I need to do. And so I went on a little journey of understanding what my body and the functions of my body and my organs. And I started realizing that I'm such a beautiful gift. And if I would only know what to do and how to do it, I'll be fine. And so my journey started. At that time, I was still working with my husband. We had this beautiful firm going. It was very successful, lots of clients, lots of business. Everything was great. I still, was juggling back and forth. And then slowly but surely, I learned a thing or two. And then my health started coming back. But I'm still working, doing the same thing. And then my parents are very dear to me.
Yeah.
I owe them my life. If not for them, I wouldn't be here. in our culture, taking care of your parents is something we want. It's a privilege.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I'll first say about my father. So my father got ill. He had neuropathy in his legs, and he was told that he's not going to walk ever again. So from his waist down, his body was paralyzed. The only solution was surgery. And my father was very nervous of surgery. And I remember going from one doctor to the other, a specialist surgeon, all that. And then one day I had a conversation with him, and I said, Dad, we say Tati, and I said, would you give me a couple of weeks and try to figure out how I can help you? He's like, of course, if I can avoid surgery, like by all
Yeah.
means. So that's really when it started. I was still working with my husband, and we got him out of the wheelchair in about 2 months. He was out of the wheelchair, walking till his last day. He
Yeah.
actually, he was walking. It was like a shocking surprise to everyone in the community. My father is very prominent in the community, so everyone knew that he was in a wheelchair. And then one day he started walking. The first time he walked was coming to a celebration in my home. He was so grateful. So he came walking in, and we have a video of my siblings like, oh, he's walking. Oh my gosh, he's okay. Like that. It was like a moment of magic. So that was my father, but I was still doing my thing with my husband. And then my mother got ill. Like 2 years later, my mother got ill, and she got ill. She was in a coma. It was during COVID, from hospital to hospital. We did some AMA, we did a lot of crazy things then. And my mother was really, really ill, and they gave up on her. They wanted to send her to hospice. And as a mother, as a daughter that loves her amazing, beautiful mom,
Yeah.
I decided to literally stop, drop, and run.
Right.
And my sister and I actually have two sisters. We geared up together. We had this beautiful support team, and we were like, we'll do anything possible to help this beautiful mom. So I'm in New York. She was in Florida at that time. So left my family behind, everyone, and just completely focused on her. So I had to give up my work. I had to give up my job. I had to, they had to hire different employees or different people to help fill in my, whatever I was doing. I spent with my mom 5 months, and we saw miracles. Dr. Shaunna, the miracles we saw, she got out of her coma. She had blood disease, skin disease. She was like considered not a person that wants to live anymore by the professionals. Like,
Yeah.
why do you want her to live? Like, there's no reason she's in such pain. Oh my gosh, we were determined, committed, doing everything possible we can. And at one point during that process, we're having a conversation with one of my sisters, and I'm like, I want to learn more about the body. I want to learn more about how to do this in a holistic fashion.
Yeah.
And that's when I enrolled in IIN.
Yeah.
And literally, I wasn't like literally in the middle of like maybe my week 20 with IIN. I think it's 40 weeks.
Yeah.
You were one of the mentors on
Yeah.
stage with your enthusiasm and excitement and just love for life and possibility. And I'm like, let me look you up.
Yeah.
And from that day on, Dr. Shaunna, you've been my mentor. And I'm so proud and so excited and so honored and privileged to be one of those. And here I am. My mother's doing amazingly well. She's healthy and strong. She's not on a single medication. She's doing great. She's 75 years old. She went through a lot in life. She has CP from when she was born. There's a lot going on with her, and she's not on a single medication, healthy and strong and well. Just spoke to this morning, and I'm going to visit her this weekend. And I am so grateful to God for this opportunity to be the messenger to help her get her health back. And from that moment on, Dr. Shaw, when I met you, I had no clients. My mother was my second. My father was my first. I was my first. My father was my second. My mother my third. And from that moment on, the clients just came to me, landed on my lap. And from then on, I've been making, thank God, a huge difference in the world. And I'm so excited to share that with you, Dr. Shaunna. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate everything. And I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Your story, there's so much there, like, wow, wow, wow. And so I love how you said, like, messenger, like we are the messenger for the divine waters to flow. And as we dive in deeper in this, that's a big core reason why you got those amazing results. When we're able to get out of our own way and not block our success and allow the people that you're meant to serve to come to you. That's a big reason why you've been able to go from 0 clients to a 6-figure health coach, making an incredible difference. You only get there if you're making a really great impact. You're not even like taking on new clients. You have more than you need. Like most people are trying to get clients, you have more than you need, and they come to you. And it is about, because you're in the flow and you're leading with love and you're making a real difference. Like excellence, I always say excellence is our strategy. Like deliver results, not charge by the hour or session or give this tip or tool. No, deliver results is really powerful. And so so you started with your own health, diving in deep, of course, because your own health depends on it. Anyone, pop in the chat in the comments, if you have had a doctor tell you or a loved one, like it's all in your head, or like in Connie's example, or in her mother's example, there's nothing more that we can do. And like to go from hospice and coma to being alive and well years later, like this was years ago now, like that is not a normal story or a common story. It should be normal, but it's not. But that's not common. And so, okay, so all of that is like, hey, how can I do this holistically? You went to IIN and then you're like, hey, I really want to help people in this way. And so, even though it wasn't in your background, architectural design, you're doing that, life had you stop that career because of your mom. Perfectly good reason. Your husband is not going to fault you for going to your mother's aid. Like, that's great. But then that was the opening. That was the window of the opportunity to be able to do this work. So amazing. So take us back then to well, take us now. You're doing the work. You're helping people. Now you're helping clients. Who are you especially passionate about helping? Give us a little insight into who are the types of clients that you tend to have now.
Right. So really, what my passion is to help exhausted Jewish mothers with Hashimoto's reclaim their energy, mood, and weight so they can live joyfully. Because I was there once. And there's nothing like a mother. Like I have 5 kids. Some people in my community have 9 or 10 or 12. It's normal. And they deserve to feel good and have
Yes.
energy
Yeah.
and have joy in their life. And so that's really like I'm like so passionate about it. Like it's beyond. But yet, strangely, maybe not so strangely, I keep getting non-niche clients all the time, and it usually is by referral basis. So I help one client, and they have a mother or a grandma or a cousin or a sister or a friend or someone that just bump into people, not even thinking of clients or business, and they're like, "Can you please work with me? I have this issue. I need your help." So so I've whatever, like I said before, whatever lands on my lap, really, that's how I go with the flow. But really, these exhausted Jewish mothers with Hashimoto's is something I would love to continuously helping. Interesting enough, those clients are my easiest clients in
For
terms
sure.
of like, it's so simple. But
Yes.
when I get these complicated clients with complicated issues, it's more satisfaction, if I can say that, because they went from zero hope to heal,
Yes.
and it's just like they're given permission to heal.
Yes.
Someone believes that they can heal.
Yes.
Like it just, the reward is tremendous, the satisfaction is tremendous, um and I feel honored and blessed to be part of their health journey.
Yeah.
um it's not about me, it's about them, and it's about the opportunity I have to be, like you said before, an amazing messenger of healing. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to dive into this non-niche and niche because a lot of health coaches get tripped up in this and they hear me talk about have a purpose-driven expert niche and things that you're good at and that you love to do. And that's absolutely true. And you do those Hashimoto's. So we start there. But then most health coaches want to help everybody with everything. And in trying to help everybody, they end up helping nobody because, like, what are you known for? Like, why would they not just go to somebody else, another health coach or a doctor or someplace else? And so then they end up hiding and being the best kept secret. So carving out that niche and the more unique it is, like the fact that you bring culture into it and religion into it, helping Jewish mothers especially. Okay, you are going to be more of an expert for them than I would, or than their doctor would, often, because what it's like to have 5 kids, and what it's like to navigate and the responsibilities, and you can help them at that. Exactly the problems they have. So, but also by narrowing it down, how we always want what we can't have. But if there's like a limit on the concert tickets, like we want in, or like if there's something exclusive that only like a few people get, we want it. And so when you make it narrow and you're not trying to get people in, they are saying, they're knocking on your door and they're saying, hey, I know you mainly help these people with thyroid, but I have this gallbladder issue. Could you help me? And I remember the first time you came to me with a non-niche client, and we're like, we spent all this time carving out your niche, and then here's somebody with something else. And so we had the discussion, and you have mastered this as well. And I'm gonna have you share how you do that. But what I had shared, and told you is like, okay, first look at, you do the call. It's worthwhile connecting with that person. Just find out more, be more, seek first to understand. And where are they at? And like, what is the problem? And when you're hearing their problem, go, do I know how to solve that problem? And then, do they want that problem solved? And probably if they're coming to you, the answer is yes. And then, do they want it solved now? And then, do they have another idea to solve it? So is somebody else already solving it for them, or is there a better idea? You have probably the most non-niche between you and Sherry. I don't know, one have the most non-niche clients. Like, they're not in your niche, but you have so many clients that are not in your niche. Um, and yet, you have that. So it allows that by getting a niche, it allows you to track non-niche clients. So, um, first looking at, what I was going to say is, I lost my train. What I was going to say is, not only do you help the most non-niche clients, but you also ask for referrals in the group. Just yesterday, like, who helps with alopecia? Who helps with this? And I've seen that all the time, asking in our community, who's an expert in this? So like, if there is someone else that is best suited, you're like, I'm going to have that somebody else help them. But if they don't have any hope, then maybe offer to help them. And that was the case with you're like, this is really complicated. And I'm like, just be honest with them. And the thing that you can always promise is that you're going to 100% show up for them and do their absolute best. And so when you have these people who are in a rock and a hard place, do your best. And oh my goodness, just like you said, they're the hardest, but they're the most rewarding. And that's one thing that you and I both have in common with your parents, and even yourself for that matter, where there was no hope and you defied the odds. And my dad, when they said he wouldn't survive his fatal stroke, and shipped him to the community hospital to die, and then me too, took a one-way ticket, and he walked out of there in 35 days on his own 2 feet. And it's not us doing it. It's not Connie doing it. It's not me doing it. And that's where we get to that messenger part, and you get in the flow and you be the messenger. But it is knowing that the body's the miracle that will heal itself if we give it half a chance. And so we are those agents of change that help people give their body half a chance, and help the people get out of their own way because they assume that it can't work. Now, we also don't want to so don't go out there and say, hey, I can help anybody with anything, come on here and I'll take you on as a client. That is not, if it's a non-niche, we raise the bar. As Connie said, people with Hashimoto's, no problem, I got that. But we have to raise the bar as to who are we going to invite in. And you recently had someone come to you that was way off niche, and you had, I think it was 3 criteria. And so like this is what I mean by raising the bar. But when you do that, it also encourages massive success results. Tell that story of like those parameters and those conditions and how you help uh how you decide to take on a non-niche, but what's the how do you raise the bar on that? Tell us about that, because I think that's brilliant.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Shaunna. Appreciate that. So I recently had a client. I recently do have a client, still do. We're at the very end, tail end. A cousin of mine, I called her up for a donation. She had a chit chat and she asked me what I do. And I told her, and she's like, I need you. Can we talk about this? And it was about her son, 14-year-old boy with a fistula. Um, and she's gone to doctors, to specialists, and she was told that you cannot heal unless you do surgery, and then he has to be on a medication for life. And he was also a little undernourished at that point, and he was pretty short for his age bracket. And she's like, I've done everything. I've done everything. I'm speaking to you now. I just feel like you have something to share with me that could help my son. So I was like, I help exhausted Jewish mothers with Hashimoto's. Like I just went on my rant.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, but it seems like you know a thing or two. And I'm like, and actually what I did was I did ask other people, other health coaches, like, does anyone have experience? What is the solution? I did ask and nothing. And I tried telling her that I'm so sorry. It's not what I could do. We're cousins also, so it's not so comfortable. And you just, do your thing. I'll pray for your son. And she did not let go of me. She called me every single day until we had a conversation. And I said, listen, Leah, if we agree to 3 things, then I can invite you to come work with me. Maybe we'll decide that. And one was that God is the only healer. So, the outcome is up to God. It's just like a higher, we're giving it up. We're giving it over. It's not about me or her. It's all that. So she's like, oh, that's easy. And I'm like, we're going to put on, positive spectacles. We're going to have a positive approach, and we're going to be really focused on trying to help your son, but keep it positive. And then number 3 was to give it all you've got. So for me, being 100% committed to her son, and for her to be 100% committed, and of course for her own son to be 100% committed to help himself. And she said, yes, yes, yes. I had no choice. So I had to bring her on. Thank God we're at week 11 this week. Literally today we had our session, and her son is 99.99% healed. Honestly, Dr. Shaunna, I have no idea how it happened. It just happened. It was a divine miracle. I am so grateful that I can be part of this journey with them. I can almost we cried on the phone together this morning. We were so emotional. She's preparing a festive celebration of gratitude to God for this amazing miracle that everyone told her is something that he's going to have to live with forever, or just surgery or medication or both or none or whatever it is. But this is something that he has to live with. Exactly how it happened, I can't even tell you, Dr. Shaunna, really. Yeah. I can't even say, oh, you do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then you are done. I can't even say that. It was a combination of everything together, prayer, faith, intervention, devices, diet, lifestyle changes, addressing the anxiety, the stress. It was an all-encompassing approach with amazing results. I just want to share, Dr. Shaunna, that we introduced the love elevator and the love elevator map. And that was part of the process in his own language. He's 14. So we had to do it the way he would feel comfortable with it. But it was fascinating. It is fascinating. And the mother, at the last call, she told me that, what am I going to do now? I was busy for 4 years with my son dealing with this crisis. And she's a mother of 7. She's not like she's bored or she has grandkids. She's married. She's a busy woman. But she's like, what am I going to do now? I was like, we're going to give back. The solution is we're going to give back. Let's give back to the world. Let's give back to the community. Let's give back to God's gorgeous children that need you. And she's going to come with an idea next week as we close our sessions together of what is it that she's doing to, in that free time that she's going to have right now. So I'm super excited for that. That's just one story, Dr. Shaunna. There's many, many stories. This is just one, and it's very recent.
Yeah, and so I love that. So notice the how the I want people to really understand the core behind this your practice and why it is so massively successful. I mean, you have a beautiful six-figure practice working 3 days a week while you have five kids, making these incredible results in people's lives. I mean, this is the practice people dream of. And uh and the undercurrent, the secret sauce behind that, it's not when we go to do a non-niche client, it's like, oh, here's someone who will pay me. Let me see how many sessions they can afford. This is not anything what we're talking about. And then both you and there was somebody else I was interviewing yesterday keep bringing up the love elevator, which is this love elevator that I teach is at the core of your success story as well. And my dad, it was started with my dad's medical miracle, and I didn't have the love elevator as a tool before then, but as I looked at what I did, and the key thing is when you are in fear or in overwhelm, and when you've been given a diagnosis and when you've been given no hope, you are in grief and fear and anger. You're down here, and the results that you want up here at the top of the love elevator, you just can't get here from here. Never going to happen. And that's why most people don't get those results. And so the key is the little secret sauce here is to at least just get to neutral. At least get to neutral. And if you can get to neutral, which you can do by gratitude, that gives you a little bit more positive, focusing on your drinking water or that favorite cup of tea. But when you can focus on what is working, and that's where Connie says, you got to put on your positive spectacles here. You know, we got to do that and give it your best shot, go all in. When you get here now from neutral, we can at least get there. So people's six-figure practices, people's medical miracles, those are all up in the love elevator. We have so many stories to as an example of that. So what Connie's doing when she's doing those sales calls, it's a diagnostic method that that we teach, so that and what you're doing is you're really finding out, where is this person at, what are their options. I'm like, gosh, if you can help them and they don't have any options, viable options, by all means have a heart and offer to help them. And of course, you're gonna have them invest so that they can get into your container of transformation and they'll actually follow through. We're not just going to give them some tips and get it all awkward. And that's how we get, those great results, and then give back. And then it's a win-win. Everybody wins. It's not a winner loser type of scenario. Everybody wins. Your client wins, their friends, family win, you win, your friends, family wins. Everything gets better when we do it like that. So such a great example. Connie, tell us what you like best about being a health coach. What's your favorite part of health coaching?
So I get to connect to the most amazing, vulnerable people. And usually when I meet with these people, they're so broken.
Yeah.
And when you feel like you infuse hope in them in such an amazing way, you start believing that healing is possible. It's so rewarding.
Yeah.
It's a compassionate heart of like feeling someone's pain. And, you know, a lot of my clients, my non-niche clients their hope is zero.
Yeah.
And when I tell them, you know, your birthright is to be healthy and strong.
Yeah.
Like that's your birthright. That's what God wants. Your body is
Mhm.
designed to be healthy and strong.
Yeah.
Like that's really your authentic self. You have a temporary condition now that's really creating, so much confusion or uncomfortableness in your life, but that's temporary. And there is hope and there is healing possible for you. So that's huge for me to be able to relate that message with so much love to them. So to see their faces light up and feel like, they can, feel confident again about the possibility and get supported in a huge way. That's huge. Also for myself to know that I'm in this with this person together, doing the best we can, never giving up hope. While there's life, there's hope. That's one of my things that I always believe in. Um, and also, it's just like that beautiful relationship we build together of trust and belief and making a huge difference. So it's not only about the client, but everyone around the client. So if it's a married woman, so it's her spouse, it's her children, it's her extended family. When it comes to, her financial, career or something, everything changes for them. Even the relationships changes for them. I have a client that was going for divorce, and I said, "Oh, I'll help you. Let's do it together, but let's build up your confidence and let's get you a little healthy and your body a little stronger, and we're gonna get to the, where we have to be in a better place. So let's focus on that, and then we'll also do, your physical things together, and we're going to revisit divorce in about a month or 6 weeks, whenever was the right time."
And what did she come to you for initially?
Yeah, so she came to me initially for a skin condition. So we put that a little bit on hold, and I said, "Sarah, let's get you really into a good place. So when you have to meet the divorce lawyers and the people and the things, you're in a good place, you're confident, you're strong." After that month, Dr. Shaun, after that 6, I can't remember because it's 3 years old already. I said, "By the way, you remember we had this conversation about the divorce? What do you think? Like, we should revisit it now?" She's like, "Oh, forget it. Like, everything is fixed. Everything's great. My husband's supporting me. Let's not even go there." Oh my gosh, Dr. Shaunna, the reward. I'm so emotional. I feel like I'm going to cry now. Just like it's immeasurable.
And I think for people listening, I think it's one of the wonderful things about health coaching that I absolutely love is because there's when you get to the root and when you hold space for transformation and you just love on these people, the ripple effects, the positive side effects is immense. And so like she comes to you, so like they're going to come to you with some excuse, right? And the excuse can be skin condition, or the excuse can be weight, or the excuse can be gallbladder, but the benefits that they get are going to be so much more. And so one of the masterful things that you did, and this is, you are really great at this. And I think it's where one of the reasons why your clients do have such excellent results is you're not forcing your agenda and you're not forcing an issue, or you're not telling someone they're wrong or something. So she comes with a skin condition. She goes, "By the way, I'm going through this divorce and that." And so rather than, so some clients would be like, "Oh yeah, you're going through a lot right now. Call me later when that's settled down, and then we can deal with the skin thing because it's not that bad." But instead, we kind of run into the fire, right? We lean into it and say, "Hey, gosh, that sounds like you're going to need some support through that." And you didn't say, "Hey, you shouldn't get divorced," or "That's going to be really hard." You leaned into it and it's like, "Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's going on. Let me see how I can help support you through that because that's going to be stressful. Let's make sure your energy is up, your mental clarity is up, your nutrition is up. Let's make sure we're doing that." And then as you're going through that, you're realizing that you're teaching her, you're not doing couples counseling, you're helping her. But when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. And so when she starts coming from a different perspective, putting on her positive spectacles, then all of a sudden everything starts to look better. And then the results and the ripple effect. And so imagine the family, like, we saved on divorce lawyers. We saved on heartache. We saved on illnesses for the spouse as well. Like, cause it's stressful. And then the kids and grandkids and all whoever else would be involved there. That's huge.
So the thing is also, I just want to just say that these clients, I didn't ask them to come work with me. They came knocking on my door.
Yes.
"Please, please, I'm in dire need of your help." So for me to just let them, you know, leave them out the door and just ignore them, or it didn't feel right. So everyone I've been helping out of my niche is those that came knocking on my door asking me for help. So I just want to
Yes.
clarify that it
Yes.
wasn't that I said, "Oh, you have gallbladder, just come to me," or "You have fistula, come to me." No, none of that. Okay, so just want to be clear. So this beautiful girl, young mother, she had one baby, pregnant with another baby. But the mother is a good neighbor of mine, And she told me, I even remember how it started. So two neighbors were chit-chatting in the morning at the bus, and they said, "Oh, my daughter's in the hospital. She's 7 months pregnant. She has a gallbladder issue. She's has been continuously having gallbladder attacks, and she needs relief, and they're going to do surgery, but the doctors are having some kind of disagreement because the OBGYN says it's dangerous to do surgery while the other surgeon wants to remove her gallbladder. So it's this like a 24-hour disagreement between doctors not being on the same page. When the parent, when the this beautiful pregnant woman's mother got involved to try to help her daughter, she was super young in her early 20s, and she's chit-chatting with this neighbor, and the neighbor says, "You know what? Call Hani. She does these things." Like, so she called me innocently. What should I do? So we had this conversation. I said, "Oh, first let me give her some juice and some smoothies and some liquid diet. Let's try to flush things out of the way. Let's make sure she's hydrated." So I put together a little doggy bag without anything, having nothing. I didn't even talk to this girl. I said to the mother, just go over to the hospital, just make sure she's hydrated, give her some minerals, nutrients, and the juices and all that. So she calls me up. "Oh my gosh, she was so happy." And she's like, "Maybe you could help her." I said, "I don't know. She's in the hospital. I don't know. What? Tell her to call me." Even just supporting her, just saying,
Yes.
"God will help you. Everything will be all right." Just even a good word. And she's like, the daughter kind of understood, or maybe, I don't even remember. It was a while back. So the exact detail of it. But
Yeah.
the bottom line is she told the doctor that there's someone that can try to help her. And literally from the hospital, we were going to do a call on the phone. She understood, she was under a lot of stress, that she should come to my home. So I'm sitting, upstairs in my
Yeah.
little office
Yeah.
with my Zoom, and I hear ding dong at the door, and I'm like, "Who's there?" And she's like, "It's me." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, she came to the house." But from the hospital, her husband delivered her to my house. She was sitting on the couch, like almost like gone, and she's like, "Please help me. What should I do?" So, anyways, long story short, we worked together. She delivered a gorgeous baby. She didn't have a single attack until the baby was born. She had a beautiful baby. She has two gorgeous children now. And then we had to stay our course because with gallbladder, there's a fat
Yep.
situation that you have to be off fat. So once you start eating it again, things start to flare up. So, anyways, she joined my advance. I don't think since she joined the advance, I don't think she ever had a flare up, and she is this very successful beautician. Here she has a studio. She has a lot of clients. She's young and beautiful, but she's very successful. She's doing amazing. She's healthy and strong. She still has her gallbladder,
Yeah.
and she has two beautiful kids. I don't think she ever had another flare up. She's doing amazing. And I'm so grateful again to be an amazing messenger to bring health and wellness to this gorgeous family. And
Yeah.
of course, as her gallbladder healed, so many other things in her life healed, from relationships with mother-in-law to different things. So many other areas of her life changed. And it's just an amazing, very humbling experience, very
Yeah.
humbling to know I'm
Yeah.
part of this journey for them.
Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, and it comes back to knowing, like, it's not us. It's not, the ego is not in here. Like, we know it's not us, and we feel blessed to be on this journey. And even, like, I always think of, like, how do you find me? And, like, okay, you were in halfway through IIN, but still there's lots of people in IIN. I think if we're meant to be, we'll be. And you just happen to see that you're not on social media, so that's not how you found me. And and you're not on social media, and you have this amazing practice. And all the time when I'm in, because I'll be in groups, mentorships and masterminds with really, big businesses and companies. And the fact that we get these results for health coaches, who are not on social media, they cannot wrap their head around it. I might as well say I have five heads. Like, they cannot understand how that's possible. And so if there's people who are listening, what would you say? I know, but what would you say is the reason? How are you attracting these clients? If it's not social media, if it's not that you've been posting on Instagram, then how are you getting all of these amazing clients?
So it's strictly referrals, Dr. Shauna. Strictly referrals. One client, amazing results, will share her story, and literally word of mouth.
Yeah.
That's it. And it feels so good because everyone comes referred. Not that the other way around is not good, but for me specifically, this works amazing because there's like a trust factor there, and they've seen that person getting results. Um, and yeah, that's how it, continues.
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful for that as well.
Yeah. And I think the other behind the scenes secret sauce thing that we have is the business plan that
Yeah,
with that. So it's
absolutely.
referrals, so it's excellence is driving it, delivering excellent results. And if you only get referrals if you do good work, right? So you're first off, deliver excellent results, have a signature process. And if you subscribe to my channel, there's videos on how to create a signature process, how to onboard people like a pro. So you can take a look at that. But that's you want to be, and that's how Connie can lean into confidence because she has a process that she goes through. And then if everything's always customized to the person, but she knows what she's going to do with people. She in the big broad categories, she knows what she's going to do, so she can be confident in that. And that confidence really helps. But then the other thing that I had to solve as a medical doctor 25 years, but I was working 100 hours a week and I had four little kids. And I was trying to figure out how do I do this when I have no time? And I really want to I need to replace that income because I was the income provider. And I'm like, how do I do that? And I could not do it in the model that is taught out there. And it's not anyone's fault because that's all they're hearing out there is you charge this many dollars for this many sessions or this many, you get 12 sessions or you get however long and it's a $50 an hour, $100 an hour, $300 an hour. That did not work for me because the one thing that I did not have was time. So if I don't have time, I cannot trade time for money because I have very little of it. So I'll make very little of it. And then I will never break free from my medical practice. So out of a necessity, if I was going to be a holistic health coach, I had to devise a different plan. I had to think outside the box, but always, always, always focusing on the client and delivering excellent results. That's at the core. And you can do that whether you have social media or not, whether you're online or offline. You can. The bottom line is delivering excellent results. And if you deliver excellent results, word is going to get out. And then once you have referrals, now you get momentum, and then it's a lot more fun. And isn't that a wonderful way to build a business because you're doing an excellent job? Soul satisfying rather than just throwing a bunch of people to modules or a course that you never hear whether they do it or don't, or online memberships. Like that's not very soul satisfying. Like you can make money that way, but you're always having to refill that bucket. And whereas this way it's so much more elegant, so you don't need hundreds of clients in order to make that impact, but it's also not costing that person an exorbitant amount either. So if that's of interest to you and you're like, hey, wait a minute, how does that work? And you want to see how this could work for your business, if you click below, we can look at what your unique circumstances are. You might already be on social media and we can leverage that, but there'll be an opportunity to book a strategy session and we can look at that. But that business plan, that sometimes is one of the missing links. And so regardless of whether you're online or offline, we do have to let people know what we do. So you, no one can become your client unless they're first aware of you. But that does not have to be social media. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. And the most beautiful way to let people know that they're aware of you is by delivering excellent results. And Connie, you're just such an amazing example of that. Like really great results. A lot of people, in fact, you don't go out hunting and getting any clients. They are literally coming to you more than you've got all of the clients that you need. And that is just such a wonderful place to be in. So I love that. One other thing that I think would be really helpful for people that are health coaches and they see like, okay, if I have a great business plan and I have a great niche and I deliver excellent results, I'll start bringing people in. But they're like, she's got 5 kids. And you're like, how does she do this? And tell people a little bit about like, how many days a week do you currently work? And how much vacation time do you generally take in a year, for example? And then just your best tips on time management. And I will just say a lot depends on the business plan. So if she needed 1,000 or 100 clients, there's a limit to that. But if you have a great business plan, all right, great, got it. How many days a week, how many months a year, and then your best tips, because you are phenomenal at time management and boundaries and clarity. And I think that also leads, and structure that leads to your success.
So I work typically 3 days a week. That's the max I could do. So sometimes I work like mornings one day, and then one day it's the afternoon. So I would combine that as one day. So it's up to me to decide if I want to do a full day or half a day. But typically it's about 3 days a week, probably 9 months out of the year, because we have a lot of holidays. In September, October, we have a full month. In April, March, April, we have another full month. That's 2 months. And then typically my clientele leaves for the summer, July and August. They're gone. And when they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah.
So like I would say about 9 months to be fair. 9 months out of the year, 3 days a week. Honestly, Dr. Shaunna, the most clients I can have a year is 20. That's max. I wouldn't do more than that. So I would even do less if that works. Some clients stay with me for a very long time. It's up to them. It's their choice. They want to hang around and get more benefits, but it's up to them. And yeah, my time management is very structured. I get up really early, so that's a real side benefit for me. I always know a night before what I'm going to do the next day. I know in terms of business, in terms of food, in terms of dinner, in terms of the kids, appointments, what visits, whatever happens. Um, but we do have a lot of celebrations in our culture, in our community. So a lot of nights we are out. My son actually just got engaged, so that's
Oh,
that's it's
congratulations.
amazing. Yeah. But one of my clients asked, "Are you going to start working?" I said, "No, no, no. We're going to do engagements because in our culture, the parents take care of the wedding and all the arrangements, not the couple. So we're going to do that plus 5 kids, plus work, plus clients, plus parents, plus siblings, plus family, plus I love doing volunteer work. So I love doing non-for-profit volunteer type of work. So it's I love that's the way of giving back. So it's doable when you have a really good structure, a really good business plan. You know what you're doing. You know what you can handle. I am allergic to burnout, so I create very healthy boundaries around that. So clients, I'm not always available for clients all the time. We know when we're meeting, we know how we do it. It's very structured, it's very specific. But when I'm with clients, it's like all focus is on them, and I love it, and it's just great. And you said about social media, so I have clients that are just on the phone, Dr. Shaunna, and it works amazing. The results are as good. This fish still a client, she doesn't even have text messaging, my cousin. So everything is just on the phone, and it's very, very structured, very organized, and they love it actually because they know on the button if they don't call me, I call them, that they're not late, and it finishes at a specific time, and they prepare their questions. I always say prepare your questions before. So like this, we start off with what's new and good, obviously, and then we go into the questions, and then we explore more. And some weeks we can't explore more because we're focused on what's going on right now, and that's good too. um, yeah, and it's just great. I don't know, I have modules, Dr. Shaun. I hope that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been with you, I don't know, for a while now. I think it's my third year with you, Dr. Shauna, and I
Yeah.
honestly admire you, appreciate you, respect you, adore you. Um, and it's just been a great journey together with you. So
Yeah.
you've given me the tools I need to deliver to my clients so they can get excellent results. And I'm forever grateful for that.
You are exactly who I've designed what we do at the Health Professional Academy for. Like, I want to allow and empower you to go out there and get your healing gifts out in the world, because the world really does need you and your unique healing gifts. And this little map here, that you put your pin on it when you were here at our live retreat last year, and I am still on a mission to help this world be a healthier, happier place. I just do it vicariously through allowing you health coaches to do that in your neck of the woods, in your niche. And it is just an absolute joy and soul satisfying to see you guys like take the tools and like implement them, follow the systems, follow the process, and like benefit from some of the things that I had to carve out the hard way, like the business plan and the processes and the sales conversations without being salesy, that diagnostic approach, that took me a long time to figure out. And so that you guys don't have to reinvent that wheel and you can just get up and running faster. And, I'm going to be speaking with some people this week that are new. They're not with us yet, and just seeing where they're at in their journey. And I was looking, and they graduated from IIN the same year that you did. And you got 3 6-figure years already in, So, when you have, and it's not their fault, and it's certainly not IIN's fault. Gosh, I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for IIN, and you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for IIN. I love IIN, but they never said that they were going to help you replace a doctor income. Like that was never a thing, right? And so I needed it to replace my doctor income. And I love what they do, and they teach you and they give you that core, that basics. But then how do we attract clients? How do we have those conversations? How do we have the business plan to be able to do that? And that's really where we have the scaffolding and the structure so that you can really do your work. The architects, as you were, I'm the architect here in this scenario. So bringing us right back to where we were at the beginning. It's been an absolute pleasure to hear your amazing story, and how you like you've just got, there's so much. I could talk to you 10 times over, and I know people will get value. I know in our community, when you are on our 6-figure panel, and you always have like some genius gems and great examples to share, and you're so inspiring. And it's our way to give back and keep allowing people to do the soul satisfying work that they're meant to do. And when it comes right down to it, actually, I want you to leave with one story. There was a client, and you asked his mother, how did you see him before, like with his ailment, and then how do you see him now? I just brief share that story, because I think that will sum up exactly what we're trying to say here.
All right, sure, with pleasure. So it was actually the client with the fistula, it was her son, and I have been with the mother back and forth. Our sessions were together, enough to do with his son. And it was, I think, a week 10 or so. And I said, I want you to write down 2 columns. We're going to make 2 columns on a sheet of paper, the right side and the left side. And I want you to write down your son before you started working with me, like his personality, his type, everything about what comes to mind when you think about him. Perfectionist, anxious, stressful, finicky, hard, complicated, everything about just be honest. Let's just do this together because we're in this together. So she wrote everything down. And I said, write down everything your son is as of today. And she's like flexible, adaptive, happy, content, doing well in school. Like, so I said, let's look at both together. And I just want to say that sometimes when we go through a hard thing in life, especially physical ailment, we temporarily become differently or act differently or something like that. And when we see the child or the spouse or even ourselves in that situation, we kind of see ourselves like that. But that's just a temporary thing that will pass. Really, who you wrote on the other column of what your son is today, this is really who he is. This is his essence. And just know that if there's going to be a little hiccup or a little something in the future, just know, look back at that note and remember who your son really is. And it was just such an amazing awareness for her. And we can do this with ourselves on a monthly, yearly basis. Like, who is the Khani that came in to meet Dr. Shaunna in 2021? And who is the Khani today, right? So confidence, a great messenger in healing, great, stories. And who was, so it's just an amazing awareness to know, to carry with you, to get that like assurance and faith and believe that things could happen,
Yeah.
that miracles do exist and miracles could happen.
It's uncovering who you really are. I think somebody said about, Michelangelo's David, like he just chipped away the excess, right? Like it's like, so we're covered up in like, it's like we're covered up in all of these ailments and issues and that, and we're chiseling away. And who you really are is pure wellness, and who you really are is pure love. And then for me, when I'm helping health coaches, who your business really is, like who you really, it's already there. It's already there. We just have to help get you out of your own way with your, money mindset stories, or your limiting beliefs, or like, who am I, imposter syndrome. Like, so we got to get rid of all of those things. Like, and then not have you try to be the message, you're the messenger, and just know that, just get out of your own way. And then I feel like we're the powers that be, the divine is looking for, God is looking for a clear channel to flow through. And you just got to be an open vessel to allow that to flow through. And then people will come. Like when I started the Awakened Healers with the first part of the Health Professional Academy, I had 3 people in 3 days come to me while I was writing Free to Heal and say, "Can you help me create a signature program?" The first time I said, "No, I'm reading my book. Sorry, focus is important." But 3 people in 3 days, that gets your attention, and it's like, "Hey, are you open to doing this? Here you go." And people come to you, and you said it throughout this entire interview, and they came to me, and I wasn't doing it. They knocked on my door, they rang my bell, they phoned me up. They're coming to you, and it's about getting out of your own way. So just the practical things: have a niche, stay in your zone, lead with love, and then just try to do your best to get out of your own way, and chip away the excess, because who you are really is amazing, and it feels so satisfying. This is awesome, been awesome, Connie. How can people get in touch with you?
So I have a website that they can visit. And if they have availability, they can check out my calendar and see if there's availability, and connect with me like that.
Yeah, and so it's healthcoachconnie.com, health coach
Correct.
CHANI.com. And just take a look. She's very busy, and that, but also, if you have any questions about her journey or anything, about health coaching as far as that goes, put a comment below. If it's something, I can reach out to Connie if it's like a health thing that she can answer, and I can translate that answer, and then also I can respond in there if you have any questions about that. And if you're looking to, how can you get great results with your clients? How can you create that structure? How can you onboard like a pro your potential clients, so that you can support them and get these excellent results, which leads to referrals, which leads to that momentum? I've got a video up here that is the next training that I would recommend for you to help you along your journey. With that, have a phenomenal week. And thank you so much, Connie, for all of sharing your wisdom and your time with this. I so very much appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr. Shaun. I appreciate you so much. One last word I want to say to everyone watching this: your potential is limitless. And
Yeah,
when you believe it, everything's possible.
absolutely. Absolutely. And on that note, have a phenomenal week. And of course, be good for you.